This subject has been on my mind for a week um, since since I witnessed the murder of George Floyd at the hands of a um, Minneapolis police officer. Um, I've been an armed civilian for years, and my training has been extensive. And I train with law enforcement officers as well as private instructors. And there's this thing called the priority of life that we're taught. And the priority always starts with you. Your life is worth more than anyone else's. The next is your loved ones and the innocent, um, and then the bad guys. So so I watched the crowd. I watched the people right in front of the law enforcement officers desperately plead for them to just turn around and look. And most training, and the training I've been through with law enforcement says, if you think your partner is misbehaving, all you do is say, "Hey, man, I got this. I got this. Why don't you go watch the crowd? I got this." And now, Mr. Floyd would be alive today, if they had just done that. Now, I think, well, what if I, an armed citizen, was standing in front of that police officer and listening to the crowd, and there's no response, and I know what dying looks like up close. I know that man was dying on the ground. He was not just going unconscious, he was dying on the ground. 7 minutes is a long time. I'm in a moral dilemma. It's a moral dilemma because I'm asking, what would I do? What should I do in the moment? There's no response to the crowd. They're ignoring him. And I am an armed citizen, and that man on the ground is an innocent. He is an innocent. Not, I mean, just because he was handcuffed doesn't mean he is his life is less than a bad guy. Now, so the question that comes up is, what would I do? What should I do? I could stand there, knowing that I had the means to save that man's life. I had the means. I could use deadly force to stop a murder, to stop a felony. I could do that. I could just stand there and be like the crowd. I could do the prison yard rush on the guy that's holding him down. That would be easy, you know. At least the man on the ground would be alive, right? Or I could turn to some people in the crowd, say, "I'm getting ready to rush this guy. You got my six," and then do what I got to do. Or or I could expose my firearm because I almost always carry concealed, and say to the officer, "Tell your partner to get his leg off the guy's neck and do it now. And if you draw on me, you will die where you stand. You'll be the first one to die. So just turn around and tell your partner whatever you got to tell him, but make sure his leg comes off that man's neck." I could do that. Or I could just draw my firearm and shoot the cop in the face that has his knee on him, and then the man's alive. So the moral dilemma is, now I'm not into committing suicide, right? So the probability of me going to prison is very high, unless I had a kick-ass lawyer. If I draw my firearm, there's four cops there, but three of them wouldn't be able to get to their firearm. And I could take out two, the first guy and the second guy. And maybe I wouldn't get shot. I'd be laying on the ground, my gun's away, and now I'm alive and the other guy's alive. But I'm certainly going to prison because the narrative of the story has changed, because there is no dead, bad black guy. He's alive. And I'm the bad guy because I, quote, interfered with law enforcement during doing their duty. But that man would be alive. So the moral dilemma is, should anyone take any action when they know with almost certainty that that man is being killed in front of you? I can say that if I were physically standing there, the man on the ground would be alive, but others would be dead. So, you have any thoughts? Please put them down below. And as always, thanks for watching. Carry on.